This is a video demonstration for my ADO.NET class project, and I'm going to show you the application that I've created for a company that I've also created called Eastside Theater Company. This is the base form that the rest of the forms in my application inherit from. So they all have this logo here, and they have buttons at the bottom to return and to exit the program, except for the main form will not contain the return to home button. So let's start the project and then I'll walk you through the code. So here we can view the staff list. So this form inherits from that base form, my home form. So right here I've used the data reader to hold all this data from my database using SQL Server. And I'm going to demonstrate some of the functionalities here. So first I have this here combo box, and you can choose a position of a staff member, such as executive, and it will just show each staff member that's in an executive position. So it's just showing those two that have the position of executive. And then you can also come over here, and if you want to just know how many are in that position, that number appears right here. And you can do that for all the positions. There's 2 captains, there's no crew at this point, and there's only 1 cast member right now. So we can go through these. There's 1 cast member, and if there's no one in a certain position, it will let you know. So this makes use of a stored procedure, which I will show in the code in a minute. This is another page. This page here is going to add a staff member to the staff table, and this uses an insert, and it's in a stored procedure. I'll show that in a minute. I've put some dummy data in here just to streamline this process. I'll make her a crew member. Say save staff, and it was saved successfully, and she shows up right here. And she will also be part of this here, so crew members, she shows up right there. And if we say crew, just to demonstrate that it worked, there is 1. So let's do a quick walkthrough of the code. This is my middle tier where I have all of my methods to run on this application. I've made a SQL connection right here, and I've instantiated a command object as well to use throughout this. And in my constructor I have used a connection string that points to the app.config file. It points to my Eastside Theater database in SQL Server. So the first method I have reads the data from the staff table, and it uses the SQL command connection, and I set it equal to the Eastside Theater connection, and then I set the type to text and the text equal to the query that I want from the database. And I use a command.executeReader, in this case scmd.executeReader, to read all that data. Next we have a method that inserts a record into the staff table in the same fashion that I used in the previous method I use here, except for instead of command text, I'm using a stored procedure that's been written in SQL Server, and it's called insert into staff, and it has all of these inputs, and in SQL Server there's an insert that will insert those into the staff table, that whole record. And you'll notice in each of these methods I have a catch statement that catches SQL exceptions and general exceptions in case something goes wrong. Here I've used the command.execute non-query to perform this action here. And down here I have another method. It is of type SQL data reader, and it returns the position of a staff member. So it points to the same database, and it uses a stored procedure called return position staff, and excuse me, it uses execute reader to execute this all. And the last one I have here is this returns the number of people in the position, and I have an out parameter that will give me the number of people that are in that position when a selected index has been changed in the combo box. So I have also used an execute non-query command here, as you can see right there, and it also uses a stored procedure. And I check for null values just to catch any errors, and I also catch SQL exceptions and general exceptions. So in my staff, so when you go into add a staff member, this code here validates that it grabs all the data from the form, validates it, and uses an instance of the middle tier and uses the method to insert data, uses that here, and it updates the table. In addition, we have here I have in my staff form, that this is the form that shows all the staff members, it shows the list view. I've instantiated the middle tier here so I can use it all throughout the form. I have on the load of this page, it's going to use a SQL data reader and the read staff method from the middle tier to load the staff into the list box. And on the selected index change event for one of the combo boxes, I have, this is the one that will show each staff member of the selected position, and it makes use of the return position staff method that I wrote in the middle tier, and it's just going to return each row that meets the standards of the selected item in the combo box, and we'll update the list view accordingly. And the last one I have here is for the selected index change event of the second combo box, and when a position is selected, the amount of people that are in that position will appear on the form. And I've also used the middle tier object here and a method that was written in the middle tier called return num in position, and its out value is here and instantiated here, and then the label will be updated to the number from the output value from running the method. And that about covers everything that's happening in this application so far. If I start it, this is going to hold more actions that the user can use in the future, including similar pages that will show shows, performance times, venue info, etc. So that's all I've got for this application so far.